We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Friday, September 26th here in Seoul. I'm Isujin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Chuyeon.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Also, Wonbin's with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So we finally made it to the end of the work week. So today we're going to dive into a topic that's not only timely, but also something many of us can relate to in our daily lives. So one of the biggest trends these days is health management, whether it's fitness, diet, mental wellness, or even just small lifestyle habits that keep us feel a little stronger and more balanced. So Chuyeon, what do you usually do to take care of your health? Do you have any special routines or habits that you try to stick to?
Well, I do muscle workouts every single day, but only 10 to 20 minutes. That's the thing that I do. And I hardly eat carbs, and I focus instead on protein and fresh vegetables a lot. And I always take my vitamins to keep my energy and health in check and boost my energy. I also have a habit of checking the sugar content whenever I eat something, snacks, drinks, whatever it is. And when I attend social gathering, yes, I do enjoy the food with them, but afterwards I balance it out by eating lightly or even fasting for a short period of time.
Can you tell me more about how you don't eat carbs?
Carbs, it's quite, yeah, if you get used to it, you can do that, you know. But after delivering the second baby, I just ate some miyeok soup a lot.
Soup, yeah.
Yeah, and then at the time I thought, like, rice, why don't I get rid of it a little bit? And then that happened.
So you don't eat rice? What about bread?
Bread, yeah, I crave for bread sometimes. I don't eat bread, but I eat crisps. Yeah,
this is really inspirational.
The
good
chips.
excuse. Yeah.
So what about you, Wonbin?
Well, I obviously take care of myself as well, from sports and diet as well. But one thing that I want to say is I drink a lot of water, like minimum 2 to at least 3 liters a day. And this especially has to do with my job because it requires me to talk all day. So drinking a lot of water is necessary. And for my detailed strategies and my routines for my sports and exercise, I'll talk a little bit more later.
We look forward to seeing that. So as you can guess, today we're going to discuss the growing trend of health management and how young people are making it a priority. So let's take a look at the screen to learn more. It's no longer just a personal choice, it's actually considered cool to be healthy these days. From viral workout challenges to creative diet hacks, health tips are trending all over social media. And what's interesting is that it's not only about staying fit, but also about finding fun and sustainable ways to take care of yourself. So today on News Generation, we're taking a closer look at how young people are approaching health management both here in Korea and around the world, why this shift matters, and of course, we'll also share some of our own tips on how we're trying to stay healthy in our daily lives. As we just saw in the video, health doesn't have to be boring. Many young people are eager to share fun ways to stay healthy, from diet plans to workout challenges. So what are some of the latest trends when it comes to health, Chuyeon?
Latest trends. You said that it shouldn't be boring. So health management is quite important these days. And one of the hottest health trends among Korea's Gen Z is slow aging. Well, the idea is to accept that aging is a natural thing, but delay is as much as possible. Diet plays a big part in this trend. They cut back on simple sugars, refined grains, and instead go for multi-grain rice, which contains several types of grain, and colorful vegetables, including lean white fish, to keep their bodies youthful. Many young people also practice mindfulness, yoga, and short, high-intensity workouts in order to keep their both body and mind in peak condition. And after all, stay young is not just about counting years, but about adding life to those years.
Well said. And honestly, this is quite smart because these are realistic changes that people can actually stick with. So simple swaps, like you mentioned, like cutting back on refined carbs and sugar while adding more vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins can really make a noticeable difference over time. And with life expectancy higher than ever, health is more than just not dying, but rather ensuring we have a healthy quality of life, whether that be having youthful looking skin or low blood pressure. So what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I completely agree with everything that you guys said. And although life expectancy is getting longer and longer, the rate of certain health conditions are actually rising higher than before. And this mainly has to do with the modern diet and the lifestyle. As we continue to move less, exercise less, and consume more and more refined food and calories, health conditions such as diabetes are occurring more for the younger people who are in their 40s, 30s, and sometimes even 20s. This is a much lower age compared to the past. Therefore, yes, the keyword slow aging is the #1 trend in Korean healthcare at the moment.
So there are many creative ways to stay healthy, and they're all going viral online. One idea that's really been taking off is something called healthy pleasure. And that's trying to make healthy activities and choices seem enjoyable rather than a chore. So Chuyeon, could you break that down for us a bit further?
Yeah, literally. Healthy and pleasure. Yes, it's a blend word of healthy and pleasure, meaning striving for wellness without losing your enjoyment. Sometimes just going to the gym could be stressful, or feeling you should eat those healthy food can itself be very stressful indeed. That's why people exercise in a relaxed way without putting themselves under pressure, and choose food that is both tasty and healthy at the same time. Many young people are trading heavy gym routines for light ones but consistent movements such as walking, yoga, and dance workouts as well. And one striking example of this trend is the huge popularity of sugar substitutes. Many now check calories like me and sugar content in almost every single thing they eat or drink, from snacks to soft drinks. You've probably even tried these sugar biscuits, sugar zero chocolates yourself. I even brought them, some of us to share with you before, and I always carry them in my bag. And this shows a broader shift. Health is no longer about harsh training for yourself, but about sustainable habits you actually enjoy for your daily routine. But wellness without a smile is just another difficult workout. Don't you think?
I think it's so funny how you're able to pull out of your back whenever. Because you have shared these with us.
Yes,
You're very
did.
good. Thank you for that. And I feel like it's a way to satisfy a craving without feeling too guilty about it.
No. Right.
So a large part of that is eating healthy food that is more interesting than plain salads and similar bland foods associated with health in the past. So Wonbin, have you tried or seen any other zero-calorie or sugar products?
Yeah, obviously. One of the biggest trends in Korea right now is the zero drinks. So I also brought one to show you guys. So zero drinks are traditional beverages that doesn't have any sugar. Instead, it uses artificial sweeteners such as sucralose, aspartame, or even stevia to get the flavors in, but to keep the calories out. The OG of this zero products would be diet soda, but nowadays we can see them in basically every product, such as zero ice cream, zero candy, or even zero tteokbokki and jjajangmyeon, which are like these sweet traditional Korean dishes. So they use the sweeteners for the sauce to lessen the sugar content. And I want to say that this change only happened in the past 3 to 5 years, because I remember me complaining about Korea not having many zero products back in COVID, which was about 4 to 5 years ago. But however, now when you go to a convenience store or grocery stores, about half of the shelf of the drink corner is filled with zero. So zero trend is definitely booming in Korea.
So I've heard through the grapevine they're really into staying healthy and staying fit. So what are some kind of routines that you follow?
The routines that I follow is there's sports and there's diet. So to start with sports, I first of all go to the gym at least 3 times a week. I mostly spend time doing high intensity resistance training. That's me at the gym with my little brother, aka lifting weights. Regularly using your muscle to its limit is actually crucial for healthy hormone balance and slow aging. I also play badminton and do swimming once a week for cardio. Doing cardio is also very important because your cardiovascular capacity will continue to decrease as you get older if you don't reach your maximum heart rate regularly. And in terms of diet, yes, I do the basics such as eating enough protein, avoiding refined carbs and sugar like Chuyeon. But one thing that I want to emphasize one more time is the zero beverages. And as someone who drinks a lot of liquid, I have to stay hydrated. I prefer to throw in some zero beverages in my liquid consumption as well, because when you drink water for like 3 liters every day, it kind of gets boring. So it helps a lot to throw in a little bit of flavor. And zero peach tea, zero citrus tea, zero soda, zero 식혜 as well, and every other zero beverages I love to drink. So those are some of the routines and strategies that I have.
Is there a reason why you decided to mix up the type of exercises you do?
Yeah, definitely. So I could talk about this for like the next 20 minutes, but to keep it concise, doing high resistance training and cardiovascular training are like completely two different things. So cardiovascular exercise would train your heart. So when you have a healthier heart cardiovascular system, it helps you to keep a good blood flow and slows you down from aging. And when it comes to resistance training, it helps you to gain muscle and keep the muscle mass, which is also crucial for not getting injuries or also staying fit, healthy, young in general. So it's very important to keep both.
I don't think I've ever seen you this passionate or serious about the topic.
Yeah, I was very glad to do this topic, yeah.
But it's not just one been embracing these health trends. So young people around the world are getting really creative about how they take care of themselves too. So what unique ways to stay healthy have you seen recently?
Yeah, well, indeed, not only one bit, but also people around the world are enthusiastic about gyms and also the zero food. It's not just in Korea. Overseas Gen Z are equally devoted to their health life. In case of the UK, luxury gyms costing anywhere from several thousand to tens of thousands of US dollars a year are trending among Gen Z. These gyms come with swimming pools, yoga saunas, Pilates studios, and even in-house massage therapists offering much more than a workout space. They actually give members a sense of satisfaction and calmness that they can feel every single day whenever they visit those places. And after all, self-care is the smartest investment. That's what they think.
Would you be interested in investing in a membership?
Not that much. Not that much.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
That's a crazy number.
We're going to check that out soon.
So are there any other health trends abroad that you've noticed getting popularity?
Well, yeah, in North America, apparently early dinner is trending. And I feel like we already had this in Korea for a long time, but people are trying to eat their last meal a little bit earlier, around 5 to 6 p.m. instead of the traditional 7 to 8 p.m. Now, this mainly has to do with the downsides of eating dinner late, which includes bloated stomach, a potential of weight gain, and bad sleep quality. And again, to me, it feels very familiar as in Korea, we always had a strong perception that eating late or eating once it gets dark is unhealthy. I learned that at a very early age, thanks to my mother. And it's very cool to see the other parts of the world accepting this as a trend as well.
Do you personally follow this trend? What time do you usually eat?
I hope my mom's not watching this, but nowadays I eat dinner very late because my work tends to end after 10 p.m. So unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. But for what it's worth, I do sleep a little bit late as well. So I do still have the time to digest the food that I ate at like 10 or 11 p.m.
So what do you typically usually eat? Because I know you like staying healthy.
Yeah. I might sound a little bit geeky, but again, concise. I basically just order like frozen chicken breast or chicken thighs in bulk, and I portionize them, and I keep them in the freezer.
So these are raw chicken that you're purchasing?
Yeah, because they're a little bit cheaper, and I'm able to flavor it in the way that I want it to. So basically portionize them, keep them in the freezer, and whenever I have to get a meal in, I would just throw it in the air fryer for 30 minutes and get some rice, like hetban or like microwave rice, and then I'm good to go for the meal. So that is my staple. Yeah.
Do you just eat the chicken and rice every day?
At least
don't you feel hungry when you eat?
You kind of get used to it. So obviously at first it's very difficult, but like again, like small steps. So first you start with this, you take away this, but at the end, over time, you kind of feel that just having one staple menu is actually very comfortable.
Do you also have a specific amount that you eat?
Yeah, about 300 grams, so
That's
pretty big.
That's really impressive. So we were also curious to see what our viewers think is most important when it comes to having a healthy lifestyle. So we reached out through the Allidian News YouTube channel to ask, which aspect of health are you most focused on? So when it comes to health priorities, nearly half of people, 48%, focus on diet, making sure that they eat healthy and maintain regular eating habits. And stress management comes next at 24%, followed by sleep, which 15% of people say is their main focus. So exercise ranks slightly lower, with 13% emphasizing physical activity as their top health priority. So it's interesting to see that diet tops the list. It really highlights that what we eat is still seen as a foundation of good health. And I was personally a little surprised that sleep ranks a bit lower, though for me personally, the amount of sleep I get really affects my energy, mood, even how well I can focus throughout the day. But to get a broader, more global perspective on this trend, we're going to hear from someone all the way in the UK who's also a fan of the healthy pleasure movement. And that conversation is coming up right after the break, so stay with us.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out Channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
We're joined today by Rebecca, a young health enthusiast from the UK who is also passionate about the healthy pleasure trend and has been exploring fun, sustainable ways to stay fit and well. So hello, Rebecca. Thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hello, very nice to be here with you.
Great to have you. So what are some popular health-related trends among young people in the UK right now?
Well, if I think about the UK in a very general, broad spectrum, when you just go to a supermarket, they have whole aisles dedicated just to plant-based alternatives. So you can find dairy-free alternatives or especially gluten-free options, which is very useful for people. So I love to even buy green pea pasta, red lentil pasta, and it's just a nice treat, guilt-free, very healthy. And I've also noticed since 2024, there's been a big rise in public interest of a food supplement called lion's mane. And it's a fungus that was originally used in Chinese traditional medicine, but it's supposedly got great brain benefits, gut, heart benefits. So that's been a trend as well. I've noticed people buying it in capsules or powders, having it raw. It's been very interesting. And also bee pollen, that's been up by 50 times higher in the searches for bee pollen. People are really interested in the benefits that we can get from our little bee friends.
I see. I would like to try that fungus one. So, Rebecca, what are some fun or unique ways people in the UK are working out? And we would like to confirm, are luxury gyms and fitness clubs actually popular in the UK? What's behind this popularity?
Well, as to the first question, I can think of three interesting kinds of workouts that we see. So first of all, there's outdoor boot camps. One that comes to mind is one that's run by, it's like a military style fitness, so it's definitely not for the weak-hearted. It's very intense. But anyway, it's very affordable, just £10 for 10 classes. So there's strength training, cardio, and there's a great sense of camaraderie with the team challenges. So that's the first one. And second of all, I don't know if you've ever heard of wild swimming. So people will just go out in nature and there will be different locations that you can choose and go out and get in the ice cold water, which is very good for the brain. A lot of young people are really interested in mental health and they love just swimming and with these groups. And also the third one I can think of is a zombie run. So coming up on October 31st for Halloween, there's going to be a zombie run, which you can connect to virtually as well. And you just pay £10 to dress up and then you do a 10K run. So I think a lot of people are interested in that. But as to the other question about whether luxury gyms are actually popular, I know the kind of top ones are in London are Equinox, where, you know, David Beckham, Prince Harry go. But as to whether they're really popular among the middle class, I'm not too sure. I think some people want to go there just to have a peek at what it's really like. But definitely people that are higher income, they want to go there for privacy, especially because before you go, you have to do background checks. So you know that you can just work out and it's going to be a safe place, away from cameras, away from the hustle and bustle of the city. So definitely for the higher, more fame-based clientele, I think they'll be interested in the luxury gyms.
All right, well, thank you so much for the insight about the luxurious gyms. Now, Rebecca, could you briefly tell us if you have a go-to food that feels both enjoyable and healthy at the same time? And why do you think these type of food have become more popular?
Well, my weakness is actually cream carbonara. So sometimes when I'm just having a craving for that, I have a guilt-free way to go. So that I just blend some cashew nuts with garlic and nuts, salt, pepper, water, and then it makes this beautiful creamy sauce. You wouldn't even know there's no cheese or dairy in there. So I think that these kinds of plant-based foods give me a great sense of health, and it's an easy go-to when I just want something really hearty and soulful. And I think these foods have become very popular, and also these workout trends, especially for mental health in the UK. You know, there's Mental Health Day coming up in the UK on October 10th. So there's a whole day dedicated just to really focusing on your mental health. And 19% of young people say they work out just to reduce anxiety. So I think a lot of people are really interested in eating healthily and working out well for their mental health and physical health.
All right, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we just spoke to a young person who told us about the trends that are happening in the UK. And to wrap up our discussion for today, it's important to remember that health is really about balance. So even with all of these tools and trends, what should we be mindful of to make sure we stay healthy without overdoing it?
So basically, I think one thing that I want to say is moderation is key. It's very likely to get an injury, and when you get injury, you can't exercise. So moderation is key. Start slowly, find out the pace that suits you, and slowly, progressively, incrementally, you should dial up your pace for safety.
Do you have any other advice, Fiona?
Yeah, of course. So be mindful not to chase all those, trendy diet things like vinegar or salt drinks, which are going viral on social media. Don't follow those things. Just follow those that suits you.
It's really important to find what really matches you. So from Korea to the UK and beyond, young people are showing that health isn't just a routine, it's a lifestyle, a community, and a bit of even social fun. So this reflects a growing awareness that longer life expectancy doesn't automatically guarantee quality of life, and that taking care of ourselves can now have lasting benefits. And hopefully this positive trend will inspire more people to embrace wellness in ways that are enjoyable, inclusive, and sustainable, and in a way that is to be accessible to everyone, no matter where they are or what resources that they have. And this brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. We'll be back on Monday at 10:30 a.m. Korea time with more stories and conversations. A big thanks to Chuyeon.
Thank you for having me, Sujin.
Coming in, and also Wonbin.
Always a pleasure.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope you have the best weekend. We are
News Generation.